All right, in this chapter, we're going to talk about internal smart notifications to service. And as a former parts manager, general manager, I've even done work in service. I know one of the toughest spots is always that communication between the parts department and the service department when it comes to parts getting ordering, received, back ordered, canceled, things like that. So we have this great tool that works in real time. You can find it under the service module here as on the dashboard. You can see right here, it lets you know you have 6 notifications. I can click that and we have 6 particular notifications for service. So I'm going to walk you through some of them. The first one is some jobs completed. This is something that can let a service manager know or even a customer if you have it configured that way to let them know when some jobs are completed. Maybe they came in for an oil change and they came in for a tire change. You could let them know the oil change was done while you're waiting on their tire, something along those lines. Um, we also have all jobs completed. This can let you know clearly that all jobs have been completed. So, for all intents and purposes, this unit should be ready to be cashed out and sent out the way. Again, if you have it configured, your customer got an internal notification similar, letting them know that all the jobs completed are done. They can come down to your store. So, if you struggle in communicating with your customers when units get done, you can do that. You can also see what units are just sitting here waiting quickly, right? If you got a bunch of all jobs complete sitting here, you might consider storage or figure out what's going on. I've also seen many times, just like parts, the vehicles leave, people make payments, but the ROs don't actually get closed out. So sometimes it's just a matter of closing those out. And remember, anything that doesn't get closed out is going to be missing from reporting. So you could have discrepancies if you're not keeping up with this. We also have 4 notifications related to parts. My parts are partially received, completely received, back ordered, or canceled. Again, these are huge for a service department. There's no way a service manager can come back to a parts department or a general manager if this tool is being used right and say, nobody let me know my parts came in. The reality is you're getting notified in real time. And for an example for that, let's just go ahead and take a look. You notice we have 6 notifications here. But let's say we're over in receiving and we come in here and we see we got some receiving parts here and parts going to come in. So when that action happened, you noticed over here, we had a receive PO. Oh, got to receive it first. Once that person receives that, you'll notice now over here we have 7 notifications. I got another one that letting me know my stuff is completely received. Now, this is important for service because in previous chapters we talked about how to complete ROs, and in order to complete ROs, all the invoices attached have to be completed. And when you order special order parts through an RO, just like a customer, they come in into a record. And so this is a great way for service writers, service managers, somebody to come in here each day and say, okay, what stuff is being completely received? Again, it's coming in real time, but they can also save some time. Normally, you'd go over to parts, pick up refunds, search the RO, search the customer, open it up just to kind of pick up the parts. Here, you can come over and click it. It'll let you know that you can pick up your parts. You can hit continue. You can complete the sale. And the great thing about smart notifications is they're all self grooming. So once you've done that task, it removes itself. And that's how you can tell if you're an owner or a GM or a manager of a department, and you want to see, are my people doing? Maybe I had 20 of these here and I said, by the end of the day, I want all these cleaned up. Well, you could see if they're getting through them because if they've done the task, if somebody's picked them up and paid, then they'll be removed from the list. Again, just to show you, I can come here, I can pick up all my parts, I can hit continue, I can complete my sale. And when I go back, we will not have any more completely received notifications, right? It's that easy. Now, partially received, we can see here we do have an order for invoice 540. It's partially received. If we need to see the details, we can look in here like we've done. We can highlight it. We can see here we got some parts canceled, some parts on back ordered, and we can see that information here when stuff was received and etc. And so if we want to understand how does the canceled or back order notifications get removed, well, let's take the canceled part for a minute. The canceled part we got to do something about, right? We know that part was canceled. We're not going to get it. So maybe we don't need this part. It was something extra. So what we can do is we can go over here. We can refund the canceled part. We can hit continue like that. and we can refund that there, and that should remove the canceled. Now, also, when we go over and we look at these records that we have here, if I remove the canceled here, or I remove the canceled here, and I receive my PO, I can put in my information here. I can hit save. We'll now see that my smart notifications have updated again because my parts are no longer canceled. They are no longer back ordered, and you can see they removed themselves here. On my partially received, we can see it stays here, and you might think, well, how do I remove it? You're probably not going to remove it. What's going to happen is it's going to go from partially to completely received. In this case, we got our rest of our parts. We can go in, we can cancel that there. We don't want to print our labels. And now, when we come back over, our partially received has changed to completely received. Again, if I'm in the service department, I can know those parts I were waiting on. They've changed. I'm not waiting on anything. Wherever in my process, I can come pick up the parts, hit continue, complete the sale. As you guessed, when you return back to the screen, it's one last notification. Same thing with some jobs completed and all jobs completed. So let's use an example. Maybe the customer comes in here. Um, I can simply click it from this screen. I can come over, I can take my payment, I can complete my sale. And again, as you can guess, when I get back to my smart notification page, it's cleaned up. Now, some jobs completed, obviously this will go away from some jobs completed to all jobs completed when all jobs are completed. And then you would just go through the process we did. I do want to mention you can remove these items from the list by clicking delete selected. But keep in mind, when you do delete a notification, you're canceling any of further notifications for that part. So if you canceled this at some jobs were completed, you won't get any more notifications about other jobs that get completed along the way. So just keep in mind, when you delete these, you're actually killing it for that part, for that RO, and it will be that invoice and that functionality will stop. So just kind of keep that in mind before you go deleting. Remember, if you want to remove them, do something, they remove themselves. So again, you can also see smart notifications are left over here in the left navigation menu. And if I do decide to delete that, as you can see here, that notification will go down and I have no more smart notifications. If you would like more information on this, we have some for parts and for service. You can come over here and see some help videos. But otherwise, that's how to use smart notifications internally for service. And again, this will really improve that issue, and you really shouldn't have any more happen where somebody says, somebody did not let me know my parts got in.